Welcome back, YouTubers. This is Daniel Strong with another exciting time with Excel VBA is fun. Here in Lesson 8 of the Beginner Series, we are going to talk a little bit about the end method using Excel up, Excel down, Excel to left, and to right. Let me show you what that means. If you've been keeping up with Excel is fun with Mike Gervin's videos, you'll know that if you, let's say you click down here and you want to go to the nearest not filled range, you need to hit Control up, and that takes us here. And if I were to hit Control right, it would take me to the end of this string of not empty cells, so Control right. If I hit Control up, it'll take me to the top, Control left. So that's using the end feature. If we were to record a macro right now, in fact we can do that. Let's hit record macro, and I'm going to hit Control up. It took me from here to the next non-adjacent cell, or I guess you could call that the next not empty cell. Now stop recording. We've only done one command, Control up. Let's go to module 2 and see what it said. Selection.end using Excel up, and then select it. We're not really going to use that today. We're going to use kind of a custom one, because whenever you're building a report that you want to generate over and over, every time you click a button, every time you do something, you want it to go through generally and select whatever the specific range, like A2 through C10, and delete it, and then run a new report that might have a different number. It might go to 18 or it might go to 400. So here's how we find that out using the end feature. We're going to say this workbook.sheets my report, okay, dot, and we're going to use the cells again, but here's what we're going to do. We're going to say rows dot count comma 1. Now I will explain thus far. For the row, you got row, and you always have column after the comma. For the row, we're taking the number, which is the number of the count of how many rows in this workbook. Comma 1, so we're talking about column A. Okay, it doesn't make sense yet, I know. Dot end. So we want to go to the end, and then we're going to use XL up. Okay, and then dot row. That probably makes no sense whatsoever. What we're telling it is we want to know the row number of, starting at the cell that's right here, which is the 1,000,000 somethingth row, comma, column 1. We start at that cell, and we want to go to the end, going upwards, not down, left, or right. And we want to know the row number. That should get us right here. It should stop right here. It won't even select it. It'll just tell us the number is the row number is 10, because we want to know the row number ultimately. So let's say that last row equals. We just gave it a name. It's random. You could say anything. You could fill in anything right here. Last row equals blah. Let's see what it does. I'm going to debug by hitting F8. 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 Nothing there. Last row is a variable that's empty. But when I hit F8, sure enough, it picked up 10. What if I put something right here in row 13? Let's see what happens. Let's go back. Let's backtrack. I'm going to take my little arrow and backtrack a little. Right now, last row is equal to 10, but if I hit F8, it should stop right here, because this will be the new end of it. Okay, last row equals 13. Now, let's do something that is very important when you're generating reports that you want them to clear out before you rerun it. So we're going to say, I'm going to copy and paste this workbook.sheets, my report. Copy that. Let's say dot range. We want to use the range of A2 through, so A2 through C, and I'm going to put in quote there. I'm going to put an ampersand to join A2 through C something. What row are we going to use? Let's see. How about last row? whatever last row is, and then we'll say dot clear contents. The clear contents is just like selecting everything from A2 through C last row. That would be C13, A2 through C13, and it's just like selecting and hitting delete only. You don't have to select it. Let's backtrack. Okay, last row is 13, and we're going to take the range of A2 through C13 and clear the contents. And if I hit F8, sure enough, it cleared the last report. Everything from here just cleared it. Doesn't have to be selected. Then if you run the macro, I'm going to hit actually, before I hit F5, I'm going to take out this thing that makes it go invisible, because that's not going to help us today. F5. Okay, from 2 to 10, it went ahead and shoved that in there. So now if we hit F5, you don't see anything, but immediately each time it is actually selecting, finding the last row, taking A2 through C, and last row, C10, and clearing the contents, and then rerunning the report really quickly. So when you hit F5, it just lickety splits it. Anyway, that's how to use the dot end feature. And oh, sorry about that. And we're back. Let's see. The next thing I wanted to show you, not only the XL up, but you can also use XL, I believe it's to left, XL to left. Now, right now, that wouldn't do us any good because currently it's going to the very bottommost row in column 1, and it's going control up. So if we went to the very bottom row and we hit control left, where does it go? Nowhere. It's stuck right here. If we did set it to control right, or XL to right, it would take us all the way over here. And generally we don't want to be here, the very last cell in the whole workbook. So let's go back up here. But let's say, for example, we did the selection. Selection, it depends on where you click. Let's see, my current selection right now is on G6. And if we did XL to left from selection, let's try that. Instead of this workbook.sheets, instead of this workbook.sheets, my report.cells, blah, 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 let's just do selection. Let's change the whole pace. Selection.end XL to left.row. Okay, let's try that. And we'll call this last column, last call. And again, this could be anything you want. Let's try that. Last call. So I'm going to hit F8 to debug. Last column is selection, going all the way to the end, going to the left. It should say, let's, instead of dot row, let's do dot column. Okay. That way we will get the column number, which should be 1, 2, 3. Let's see what happens. Last column equals 3. What do you know? It's just like as if you did this and went. So I'm going to randomly put some stuff in here in different columns. Okay, you're seeing that I'm just putting random letters here. So let's have fun with this. We're going to say wherever I select my cursor at, we're going to take the selection. It's going to take the selection and go all the way to the left to the end and give me the column number. So in this case, it should go stop here at I, which I don't even know, that would be number 9, I guess. Let's see, last column is 9. Here, I'm going to stop it. Let's click here. F8, F8. Last column is 9. Yep, 9. Let's click here. Okay, I selected that. And let's see, we'll backtrack up here. Last column is, okay, that's also on 9. Let me erase the one on I, and let me just rerun that one. Last column is 6, which is, let's see here, right here on F. So, sure enough. Anyway, that's the XL. You got XL to left, XL to right, or XL up, or XL down. And that's just like holding control and hitting one of the arrows. Control up, control left, control right, control up, control down. So anyway, thank you for watching.